So here's the setup for X spot with outside Apprentice. Now this play is probably my favorite play in the game right now, but it can be a little bit complicated, so I'm going to try to break it down step by step here. Here's the setup. You're just going to put an in route on Y, a post route on A, then you can leave the swing route from the running back, or if you do have running back Apprentice or hot route master, you can put a flat route on the running back. You see the table route here, and you can do that as well. But I don't use that right now. I'm not using a running back Apprentice, not using hot route master. So a swing route will work. Now, B is going to be the main route on this play. You'll see I've subbed in Watson here. It's no longer Devontae Adams, and I have Tom Brady here instead of Lamar Jackson so that I can put Watson on whatever route that I need. Now, it's going to be a C route, but you can't do that until you motion it across. If you put Watson on a corner route right now, it's going to be a corner route to the left, not what you want. What you want is a C route. So as soon as you motion, then you can put the C route, the corner route, and you see it's a corner route now. You're not going to want to get all the way to the sideline. You want to do it as soon as you do the motion. And you're going to want to hike it like right past the tight end. So I'll reset the play here. And then as soon as you motion, you put that C route and you're ready to hike. So I'll go to X spot, reset back up here. And as soon as you do this motion, this C route is going to get to a great spacing if you hike it right here. It was corner route on the hot route master or route apprentice routes. You see right there, nice spacing. That one looked a little bit close, but just trust me, against cover 3, it's going to be automatic for you. There's not a chance. As long as you throw it at the right time, they're never going to play it. So I'll do it again here. I'll throw it. I can throw it a bunch of times against it, and it's going to work every single time. You hike it right past the tight end. I like to low pass it with like a 4 or 5 o'clock pass lead. Now, the reason why I'm using Watson, I forgot to explain this earlier, is you actually don't want to meet the route running threshold for medium when you're using this route. So like 85 if you're on All Madden, 90 if you're on All Pro. You don't want to meet that threshold because they will run it too fast. And I'll show that at the end of the video here. I'll sub back in Devontae Adams. But the way that you're going to beat man is you're going to have route technician. If you have route technician on that route, which is what I'm using Drew Bennett right now in Mutt currently when I'm releasing this scheme. And Drew Bennett doesn't meet the route running threshold for medium, but he has route technician, so that means they're still going to beat the man-to-man. That's how you can beat the man-to-man without the routes. And then you're still going to be able to beat the zones because they won't run too fast. If you have over the medium route running threshold, you're going to run the route too fast, and that's just an inaccurate pass. You're going to run the route too fast, and they're not going to be open anymore. They're just going to run too deep. They'll beat cover 3 still because cover 3 is just wide open against it, but cover 2 is going to be way too tight of a window, and it just won't work quite as well. You see that's beating cover 3 consistently, right? I've thrown this a lot. This is my favorite route in the game right now. Oh, and did not mean to hike it. But we'll just keep it moving here. I'll just throw that in route. Favorite route in the game right now. It's very, very effective. Now I'll go to cover 2. Cover 2 does guard it better. And it's just because of the one zone, the vert hook, right? So we'll go to Tampa 2. This vert hook is the only zone in the game that can give you a little bit of trouble. You can still throw it when you don't meet the route running threshold, but it can give you a little bit of trouble. And I'll show you why here. So we'll motion across. It's going to make the window a lot tighter, even though that swing route's still pushing that cloud flat out to the sidelines. You can throw it right there, and you see that window's there, but it's a lot tougher than the cover 3 route. And it can get guarded. You can get guarded. So if they have that vert hook there, maybe look it off. You can, if nothing else is there, you can definitely test it. And that's actually cover 3, so that's going to be wide open. But if they're in that Tampa 2, that vert hook can be a little bit scary. Now, if the vert hook's not there, if they man it up, they put it on the running back, they're using that, it's not going to be any problems against cover 2 either. It beats the cloud flat easily. The swing route pushes the cloud flat out far enough. But it can be a little bit tight with that cover 2. So you're seeing the window. The window's tighter. That's all I want you to see. You just have to trust me that they can play it sometimes, but as long as you're not meeting that threshold, you can usually throw it pretty safely, and it's not going to be an interception. You just can know that. Now, the next step we're going to take here, I'm actually going to man up Mosley on B. I'm going to move it across because that's the only way that we can really straight man it here without me having to just with 2 controllers. So I'm moving this across. I want Mosley to meet the C route there. Now, it's not going to get open, right? Watson's not going to beat it. You have to picture route technician. Now, route technician, you can throw it right on the break. No problem against man-to-man. I've thrown it a ton with that low pass. Now, to actually beat it, that just could be because Mosley's not a top-tier corner either. With the corners in Mutt, like, that have one step ahead, or like Dre Bly, those very fast corners with high man, they're gonna do a good job against people that don't have route technician. So I just put route technician on Bennett, and then it's no problem. It's going to get open, but this is a very effective C route. I'll go over the rest of the routes of the play. But just trust, this is my favorite play in the game right now. This along with double in sale number 1. And I like to go to it a lot. It's very tough to stop. Other routes in this play that are really good, you have the post route. That's pretty much all I throw on this play. If I have time in the pocket and they're not blitzing or anything, I throw the post. If they use the C route, if they use the post, I throw the C route. Essentially all I throw. Now, once they start blitzing or changing up their coverage, maybe getting creative, That's when you can start mixing in the other reads, but we'll go through those all here. I'll just go through the replay here. I want you to see that this outside little hitch from the X is what holds down the yellows. You see, this yellow is getting ready to work its way back from the id route to the hitch. Nothing even guards the post at all. Just a wide open route. The hitch is holding down the purple and the yellow. If they put clouds, it can make the window a little bit tighter for the post, and I'll show you that here. This video is probably going to be a little bit longer one just because this play is a little bit complicated. And I also want to stress all the good things about it just because it's my favorite play right now. So, putting the in route here, putting the post. I'm going to shade down, shade up. That means the cloud flat's going to be there. And it's going to make the window a little bit tighter for the post, but you can still throw it as long as that hook curl stays down on that hitch. You'll see here. Oh, and you don't want to, yeah, that's not what you want to do. That is not when you want to throw it. So that's good that I got pressure there so we can kind of show my mistakes. It's good to show the mistakes too, just so you don't make the same ones as me. I'll make sure to double Bosa here and I'll spy this player. Keep me from getting pressured. I just want to be able to show this route against the shade down, shade up here. So motion the C route across. You're going to see this post. This can be a little bit tighter when they shade down, shade up. But if need be, you can always just take the post. But right there, you see, that can be a little bit tighter. You had to wait a little bit longer, but still there. That hitch on the outside from the X spot does a really, really good job. Now we'll go over the in route. In route, I basically just throw that if I get a little bit of pressure on me, if the user does a good job of kind of staying on the post and the C route and just not making me pick one. But the in route is going to be good for you as well, going across the middle of the field. So essentially, we're just showing that hook curl. Let's just pretend that's the user. That sometimes that user will just hover around that post corner cut. And you can't really tell which way they're going. If they're going to do that, and they're going to make you wait, just throw the in route. So let's see it here. We're just going to pretend this is the user dropping back. So if they're hovering in the middle here, right? Like this is the post C route. You can't really tell yet. They're right in the middle. Which way are they going? Are they going post? Are they going C route? They're dropping back that far. Just take your in route. It's going to be 7 to 10 yards. It's easy. So just take your in route in that situation if they're going to drop back that far. Obviously, if it's the actual zone like the way it was, you can probably just throw the C route. But again, I'm not going to go through too many setups here. I don't want to waste too much time. But if they're blitzing, that's another reason to have the table route. So if they do this, that's a great reason to have the running back apprentice or the hot route master. So if they do that, the table route can be big yards. If you see they have no flat out there, just take the table route because it means they're probably blitzing. And then against the blitz, you have the in route and the backside hitch that you can read between as well. So let's say that they're blitzing out like a Tampa 2. So if they're in a Tampa 2 here, they're blitzing this vert hook. Maybe they're blitzing this mid read. They have this deep blue back. So if they're blitzing off that side, you do the same exact setup here. You're sending out 5. They're using the right side with that vert hook. You can throw the in route or you can throw the backside hitch. So I'll go to the replay and show you. We're just going to pretend this vert hook on the right side was their user. And this is the last thing I'll show before I go back to Davante Adams and show you how the quick cut can affect your route. So go to the replays here. The vert hook's user on the right side. They're blitzing off the left. Let's pretend this is the user right here. You don't know which way they're going. C route post. You have this in route on the backside. If for some reason that's manned up or taken away and you don't feel comfortable throwing it, you can throw the backside hitch. Those are 2 quick reads against the blitz. So this play is going to be really good against the blitz. The post can honestly also be a hot read against the blitz if need be. And the C route can be a quick one. I just want to show you that quickly. I forgot about that. It can be a really good play against the blitz. So let's just say they're blitzing a lot here, right? So they're sending A. They're blitzing here. They're sending off that, and this yellow can be their user on the backside. You can throw this C route very, very quickly as well. So definitely a lot of the good things against the blitz. It's obviously great against coverage as well. You can throw the C route before it even cuts. So on that first straight, you can just throw it if you're blitzed and they're user in that backside. So a lot of good things you can do against the blitz. Now I want to show you Davante Adams here, so I'll choose new play and just switch the receiver who's there. And essentially, it's going to be cover 3 just because it's so wide open. But if they have cover 2, they have that vert hook out there, it's pretty much never going to get open because it just cuts way too fast. So putting Davante Adams back in. But this is my favorite play just because it beats coverage. It beats blitzes. It beats man. It beats zone. It does a lot. So I'll show you cover 3 and I'll show you cover 2. And I'll do this as quickly as possible so I don't waste too much more time. So this cover 3, it'll be open. But you'll see it cutting faster. So you'll kind of see the reasoning as to why it's not open against cover 2. So that's the quick cut. Going to beat man for sure with that high route running threshold. But when they go to cover 2 here, So make it a lot tougher to throw. So here's Tampa 2. Move this safety out just because it's weird alignment. But going back to Tampa 2 with this C route right here, you're going to see how quick it cuts to try to get over the top. But it's just not there. And you see that quick cut. And I actually was able to get hands on it. That's pretty rare. I usually don't even get a hand on it, but they knocked it out there. I usually can't even get a hand on it when they go to Tampa 2. That was just happened to be, I guess, perfect spacing. But usually you're just going to either throw a pick or they're going to knock it out, which is something that pretty much never happens when you have the lower route running. So definitely something to keep in mind here. This is Tampa 2. This is one last time. I'll show it. And that's usually what I see right there. You just don't have the space to try to get an animation on it. And you end up throwing a contested pass that's either a pick or an incompletion. So that's the X spot, or X spot with the outside apprentice.